Hi guys, welcome to the table lamp video. This table lamp uses a feature. It's basically called a revolved cut. So it's like a revolved boss base, except it does the opposite of it. It cuts out from material, so you have to have solid material there. Then you draw a two-dimensional sketch, and you can revolve that sketch, and it removes that sketch from the solid material that's already there. Okay, we'll see it as we go along. So it's quite a complicated sketch that we're going to use for the revolve to get this profile here. Looks quite complicated, and it is quite complicated. But first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this kind of cuboid. So it's going to be on the front plane, 350 by 50 wide by 50 deep, and has a 20 gap from the origin. Okay, so I'll go front plane, normal to sketch. I will go to what I'll do here is I'm going to, instead of doing a rectangle, I'm just going to do a midpoint line here. So I'm going to do it straight up from the origin, then up, across, and down. Smart dimension 350, I think it was. The width is 50, and it didn't work there. So what I want to do is make the midpoint and the origin, selected control there, vertically aligned. And I want the gap between that line and the origin to be 20. Okay, and you can see it's fully defined there. So now I'm just going to extrude boss base that to a depth of 50, and I'll do mid plane, so it's going in both directions, 50, and there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to carve that like it's a lathe. If you know what a lathe is like a wood turning or a metal turning cutting tool, where you basically carve the piece of material, spins, and then you have a cutting tool that digs into it, and you can kind of cuts into it, and you can kind of create complex shapes. So to start this off, we're going to the front plane, and we're going to draw a center line down the middle, and then we're going to create these two other center lines here. So this is basically the rectangle you can see there is basically the object that we just drew. So I'll just go to the front plane quickly there, and I'm going to set it to that there, and we're going to go, I'll just select the front plane again there, sketch, and I'll go with a center line up the middle from the origin. And I'm going to add in two more center lines now, one roughly there. I didn't join it on there, I'll just make it coincident there, and I'll add one more in here to here. Okay, and the gaps are 5 from the edge of the solid, and then another 5 between the two center lines. So smart dimension to the edge of the solid 5, and then between the two center lines a gap of 5 also. And they are now fully defined. Next thing is we're going to draw a profile. So I know it's kind of unclear here, but we're going to start at this point. So it's the 1, 2, 3, the fourth kind of black dot in. We're going to draw a heavy line, we're going to come down vertical, and then we're going to come up at an angle, and we're going to meet that first center line in from the edge of the solid. Now this is a bit confusing here. It's saying 25 there as if it's a kind of a symmetrical measurement. So if we split that 25 in two, it's basically 12.5 from this line, the start of this line, back to the center line. Okay, so I will go with a solid line, and I'm going to just land it somewhere there, come out, come down, and then come up at 45, whatever, any angle, till it hits this first center line. Okay, now we'll do a bit of smart dimensioning on that. So from the start of that line to there, I want it to be 12.5. What else was there? It's then 12 from here to the solid. This has to be 45 degrees between these two lines. And what else are we missing here? 55 from the bottom of that line back, not to the origin but to the bottom of the solid. Try that again. So 55, and now that's gone fully defined. Okay, I'm just going to drag some of these numbers over here so they're not in the way, because things will get a little bit more complicated here now. I'll just leave that there where it is. Yeah, that's fine. So now the next thing we're going to do is from the end of that 45-degree line, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 semicircles, and we have to make them equal to each other. And then if we set one of them to radius 4, they'll all be set to radius 4. Then at the end of the fourth one, we're going to do another vertical line. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a center line, center point arc, sorry. And what way is the first one curving? It's curving to the right. Okay, and then they alternate. So center point arc. There's the first one. Now my computer, I haven't figured out why, it's automatically putting the dimension on it there that I don't really want, so I'm going to get rid of the dimensions later. It's not giving me a choice to dimension it, so I'll just work with it for now. So you want to go the other way there. Then we'll do a third one. Don't mind the size for the moment, like so. And there's the fourth one. Now I'm going to get rid of these dimensions. Don't click on the number to delete it, click on the actual line, and I'm going to make the four of them equal by selecting the first one, holding Control and selecting the other three, and we'll go to an equal relationship, and we're going to set it to radius 4. Okay, and now they're fully defined. Now at the end of that fourth arc, we will do a vertical line, and it had to be 150 back to the bottom of the solid. So the vertical line 150 to the bottom of the solid. Grand. Now nearly there. What's the next thing? So now we're back up at the top. We're going to start off with a line 45 degrees, and it's to hit the first center line, then out with a perpendicular line here. So these two lines are perpendicular, and then one arc, and then we finish it off with a 3-point arc. Okay, so let's just do this one here first. So zoom in here, and where are we going from again? Okay, yeah, line, so from here to here and then back to here, and we need to have a 45-degree angle here between this blue line and this horizontal line. And I'm going to put a perpendicular relationship, hold Control, between them two lines, like so. Then I'm going to put a radius 1, radius 4 arc, and it has to curve to the left. And instead of, I'm just going to delete that there, instead of adding radius 4 to it, what I'll do here is select it, hold Control and select one of the other arcs and go to equal. So that will also follow. If we ever change this radius 4 down here, this one will also automatically change with it. Now to finish it off, what we're doing is a 3-point arc. Okay, here's your first point and your second point, and we'll curve it to the right, and then we'll add in a radius 1000. I think that's it. That should be it. Okay, so 3-point arc, first point, second point, and have a little bit of a flex to the right there, and then we'll make it radius 1000. Okay, now that hasn't come up fully. Oh sorry, I see what I've done there, so I need to get rid of that. I should have attached it on here. So I'm going to delete this coincident relationship there, and I'm going to drag this. Okay, we might have to do a little bit of surgery on this here. I'll try to delete that point. No, that's kind of stuck there. So what I'll just do here is I'm going to delete that arc, like so, and I'm going to go do my 3-point arc again. I should have done it from here up to here, and now smart dimension it. It's still not looking right. To 1000. Okay, that line should be vertical, like so. Now there seems to be I wonder, is there a break somewhere in it, because I thought the whole thing would have went coloured. So what I'll do here is I'll just highlight it I'm going to hide the solid. I want to have a look at that sketch on its own and see if there are any breaks in it, so I'll hide the solid there like so. Is there any break in it? It's unusual. So what am I doing? Sorry. So I'll just bring that solid body back in. Now I'm just going to see if it works here. The revolve. So it's a revolve boss, not a revolve boss base, but a revolve cut, and we use the center line as the axis. So features, revolved cut. Yeah, so that's not doing it there. So let me just green tick it and see what it looks like. Oh, it is. Okay, it did do it. That's what I was after. Okay, so that's fine there. So basically what it's doing is it's taking that profile that we done and it's going around in a full circle, and it's like it's cutting out from that piece of material that's there that we drew initially. Okay, so that's what we're after there, and we'd obviously name both of them as something appropriate. I'm not going to do that now. So that's that done. There's a lot of jargon here in this guide here, so I'm just going to skip by it. Basically we're at that point there. Angle is 360. Now we're going to start in the front plane, and we're drawing this profile here. It's for the base, and we're going to do another revolve. So front plane, normal 2, sketch, center line up the middle like so, and I'm going to draw a line from here, if we can pick it up, the midpoint down. Now what does it look like? So we'll do the arcs afterwards, so I'll just come down, over, up. Okay, down, over, up, over, close it off like that. Now this is to be 20 here. The gap is for the width from the center. Once again, it's doing these symmetrical kind of the measurements here. So we'll say it's 75 wide from here to the center. The gap from here to here is 4. Actually, did I do that right? 150. Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. 50 up at the top. No, hold on. We're going to put in our semicircle here. So center point arc, and we'll do the center point arc in the corner as well. It's a bit awkward. There we are. And we'll trim off the bits we don't need. Now we need to put some dimensions on that. So it's a radius 4 semicircle and a radius 4 quarter circle. So that's radius 4. The gap here was 50, I think, from the center. Yeah, 50, and then radius 4 in the corner. Now this one could go weird here. We'll just see how it goes. Ooh, won't let me change that for some reason. I'm going to delete that for a second. Oh yeah, there was 2 of them there. Don't know, I didn't see that. 4. Now, see, that's not fully defined. So what I need to do is make that and that point there. See the way they're not horizontally aligned? When we make them horizontally aligned, still blue. So I take that one there and make those vertically aligned, and now it's fully defined. So I think that's everything there. And now we'll go features, revolve boss base. I'm going to choose the center line again. Hopefully this works. We'll merge the result 360 degrees blind. Lovely. Okay, and we're going to put some fillets on the bottom, 3mm fillets on the bottom as follows. So fillet 3, the outer one here, but it's this inner one here. 3. Grand. And now we're going to drill a hole at the top, diameter 8 in the center, and we're going to extrude it, but we want to not go blindly at a distance. We want to offset it from the bottom surface so that it stops 3mm from back up into it, 3mm from that purple surface. So diameter 8, so select that there, normal 2, sketch, go to draw a circle. Now rather than drawing a circle, I'm just going to go convert entities, and it's after taking that circle there and converting it to a circle. Sorry, no, I shouldn't have done that because that's later on. Leave that for the moment. Scrap that. Center is there, diameter 8, like so. And what I'm going to do now is extrude cut that circle downwards, but we're going to go offset from a surface, and the surface we're going to offset from is that one there, and we're going to choose 3mm. So if I just go to a front view, I'll show you what it means. So there's the pink surface, obviously there in pink. It's cutting out, but it's offsetting 3mm from that surface. So that's that. And if we go to hidden detail, you can see where it ends there. Okay. Now, next thing is probably the lampshade, the shade itself. We need to create a hole in the base. Okay, so there's a hole in the base. So I'm going to the right plane, diameter 8, 11 from the bottom. Okay. Right, so this is done on the right plane. Look normal 2, sketch. I'm going to do a center line up the middle. Doesn't matter how high I go with it. Circle, like so, and that's to be diameter 8 as well. And it has to be 11 from the origin, okay, or the bottom. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take that circle and we're going to extrude cut it in the opposite direction through all. So it's just going to pop out the side there. Okay, so what you get there is that tube that we cut down the center is meeting that new tube or hole that we've drilled there. Okay, so you can see the two of them are meeting there, cylinder meeting the cylinder, and you get that kind of V there. Okay, that's grand. Now, where are we? Surely we're on the lampshade itself. Yes, we are. Okay, so we're going to do a revolve here, and this one is slightly weird. Instead of drawing a closed off kind of trapezium, we're going to do this. It's just a single line, okay, and we're going to revolve it, but we have an option of adding thickness to it, 1mm thickness. So what it's going to do is it's actually going to keep it hollow in the center, but give it a kind of a wall thickness of 1mm. So this is the sketch we're after here. So 150, 50 at the top, 150 high. Okay, so I might have to bounce back and forth between that. Normal 2. For the hell of it, I'll just do another center line. I love the center lines. I'll just draw a diagonal line here, like so, and it is 350 to the origin and then 150 high. So 350 vertically to the origin, and the vertical height of this slant is 150. And then I think the distance to the center line here was to be 150, I think. Yeah, 150, and then 50 at the top. 150, and then 50 at the top. Okay, everything's black, it's fully defined. So now what we're going to do is features, revolve boss base. Sorry, I'm just going to do that again there because it gives you a warning. Okay, revolve boss base. This sketch is currently open, a non-thin revolution feature. It requires a closed sketch. Would you like the sketch to be automatically closed? So I'm going to click no here. Okay, and we're going to go to thin feature, and we're going to type in 1mm here. So you can see it's given it a thickness of 10 there. We're just going to go with 1. Okay, and you can see now it has a 1mm thick perimeter on it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is draw this kind of housing for the bulb here on that circular surface. So I'm just going to hide this lampshade for a second, and I'm going to go to that surface there and look normal to it, and we're going to do a radius 10 circle with a diameter 8 circle, and then these two 9 vertical lines are 9 from the center. Okay, so diameter 10 we're looking for. So select that surface again, sketch. That's diameter 10. Seems a bit much. Radius 10, sorry, radius 10. So that's diameter 20. The reason that is given it as a radius there is because it's actually not a full circle here. okay, because it's chopped off. We only ever, full circles, we communicate in diameter. Anything that's an arc is a radius, so technically that's an arc there. Doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to go to convert entities. I'm going to select, try that again, that circle there, turn that into a circle. Then we're going to do a center line up the middle, and I'm going to draw a vertical line out here. Try that again. I want to make it the start point coincident with the circle and the end point as well. Then I will trim off that part there, and I'm going to mirror that over then. No, I'm going to do obviously the 9mm distance here to the center, and I'm going to mirror that line about the center line. Green tick, and I'm going to trim off that piece like so. And I'll extrude that now to, I think it's a depth of 20, it could be wrong though, no, it's actually 6. So features, extrude boss base, 6, and make sure merge result is ticked. There we go. Now the next thing we're doing is we're drawing, create a sketch. Select the surface as shown. Okay, so we're going to draw on this flat surface that we just created. It seems to be a 3x3 rectangle. Okay, let's have a look at this. So I'll just select that one there, and I'll go sketch. Just let me have a look at it again. I'll create a center line up the middle, of course. Center rectangle, I'll try that for a second, and I want that line and that line there to be coincident. I think it doesn't let me do that. Can I just drag it down onto it? Maybe that point in that line, maybe the whole, yeah, the point instead. And it's 6 wide by 3 high. I suppose that's the best way of communicating it. So 3 high and 6 high. Now what we're doing with that is we're going to extrude that, and we're going to extrude it up to a surface, and the surface is going to be the inside of the so I'm going to bring back in the lampshade itself. That's that one there. So features, extrude boss base, select part of the sketch. I'm not going to go blind, up to surface. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the inside, any of the inside surface there. I'm going to flip it to go that way, and you can see what it's doing is it's bringing it out, so it's merging with the inside of that seamlessly. And merge result, I think that's all I need to do there. Then repeat the procedure on the other side. So what I'm going to try to do here is, maybe instead of repeating it, I'm going to try to do a mirror, a feature mirror, and we haven't used that too much. So mirror. The face plane will be, you need to get this right here, I want to see the hidden detail, so it needs to be the right plane, so I'll select the right plane there. That's because we're going to flip the arm over that blue plane. Features to mirror, I'm just going to go to bodies to mirror, because that's, oh no, okay, features to mirror, we'll try that instead, like so. That's it, and green tick. Hopefully that works. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong with that. Maybe I'll just hide this for a second. No, see, it's one solid body now, all of it, because everything's been merged. We're always taking merge results, so everything's kind of it's just one body. Right then, I think that's it pretty much. So what I'm going to do is just put some wood. Now there's messing around here with patterns and stuff like that. What am I using? Pine. Okay, so we'll just stick pine on the base anyway. So appearances, organic, wood, and we just go with pine, polish pine, and just do it for the now. I don't want it to go to the whole body. So what I'll do is I'll go back up here to where I've done the revolve boss base. I want this to be a separate part, so actually merge result wasn't ticked there, so that's fine. So maybe this boss extrude here, I'm going to untick merge result, and I'm going to have to redo this mirror here. Okay, no, I've done that wrong. Get rid of that mirror. I'm going to try that again now. Mirror, the plane will be the, I think it was the right plane. Feature, I'm going to go bodies to mirror because this should be a body on its own. Yeah, there it is. Am I going to merge it to the solid? No, I'm not going to merge it to the solid, like so. So in my solid bodies folder here I have the arm, that's probably going to be a metal, another arm that's metal, the wooden base, and then this thing here. Okay, so let's try that again. Go to polished ash, put it onto the body there. Now there is a way we can mess around with the grains and stuff like that, but I'm not going to get into that now. That'll be at a later date. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on a few things here. I'm just trying to fly through it. Okay, so what I'll do here is appearances. Now we're going to put it on that body there, and I'm going to go with a kind of a yellow. What color is it using here? Yellow, and we need to put some transparency on it here to 0.45. So where is the transparency? Advanced, mapping, surface finish, transparency, transparent amount here, so 0.45. see if that works. There we are. Now it's more like a lampshade, and these things here, I'll just go to a metal, just go to aluminium, brushed aluminium, and brushed aluminium onto that one as well. And that's pretty much it done. I don't think there's anything else. Repeat the above procedure for each of these features. Design cut base. Okay, yeah, so what it's doing there is it's applying the wood onto different features rather than the whole body. As I said, we can get into kind of different, you can see the way the patterns are there. Yeah, you have to texture each part separately, which I'm not going to do at the moment because it's not really a priority at the moment. So listen, that's it. We're 28 minutes into a video. I don't want to do any more on it, and we leave it at that. Thanks.